Hey guys, David here with Uber Eats Hustle. I know it's been a very long time since I've made an Uber Eats Hustle video, and there were a few other videos on this channel. I was playing around with learning some different video techniques. Ultimately, I decided that I want to keep this channel exclusively Uber Eats content, so I'm back. So without any further ado, I want to get into today's topic, which is how do you deal with rude, disrespectful customers when you're making deliveries for Uber Eats. So since Uber Eats and other delivery services are a service industry gig, you're likely to get a rude or unruly customer from time to time. How you deal with it can differ based on the situation, but I want to use a specific type of customer that I very recently had in order to illustrate what I'm talking about today. I recently accepted an order for a restaurant called Snuffers here in Dallas that I go into all the time. And as soon as I accepted the order, I was immediately met with a text message from the customer. No big deal, that happens sometimes. I don't like when they text me immediately, but not a huge red flag. So I opened up the text and I read it before I even looked at the delivery notes. And this text message said that if the order did not arrive by a certain time, she would refuse it. And it then went on to say that her last driver made several stops along the way to her, and so she would refuse the order also if it appeared that I did the same. Right away, it's clear to me that this delivery is not going to be a good experience. Then I back out of the text messaging part of the app and I go into the delivery notes. So the first line of her delivery notes is in all caps and it says, "Must read and follow directions exactly," with 5 exclamation points. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 exclamation points. So I received this order, upon which the customer texted me before I even had a chance to read the order or their notes, giving me conditions upon which they would not accept the order. And then her delivery notes are in all caps with 5 exclamation points stating that I must read and follow the instructions exactly. Okay, so how do I handle this?
Cancel the order.
Cancel the order. But David, you might say, why cancel the order? Isn't it our job to turn around negative customer perceptions? No, it's not. And here's why I think that. We are not Uber's customer service department. We're not even Uber's employees. Uber has an entire customer service department whose job it is to handle negative experiences like the one this customer had with her previous driver. We, the drivers, are not even employed by Uber. In fact, Uber is our customer. You see, the customer pays us the delivery fee, and we have to pay Uber for the ability to operate our independent delivery service on their platform using their branding. This customer already had the opportunity to express her displeasure to Uber over her experience with her previous driver. 1, she could rate him thumbs down in the app so he gets a black mark against him. 2, she could zero out any tip that she had inside of the app. 3, she can call customer service and complain about this driver. Maybe it's just me. I'm guessing she probably did all 3 of those, which is completely fine. That's what those functions are there for. But what she and other customers need to understand about Uber is that each driver is an independent business operator. Let me compare it to calling a plumber. Uber is not a plumber. Uber is a dispatch service and a brand that multiple independent plumbers operate under. Just because you had a negative experience with one plumber who operates under that brand does not mean that you are then going to have another negative experience with the next plumber you hire who operates under that brand. If you don't want to hire an independent plumber operating under that dispatcher brand, you don't have to. That's okay. But if you choose to do so, you have to come into that transaction without any negative expectations, or at least not so many negative expectations that it clouds any possibility that you may actually have a great experience with that particular plumber. It works the same way with Uber. Just because one driver gave you a really crappy experience doesn't mean the next driver is going to. And you can't punish that new driver before he even starts just because your first driver sucked. However bad her previous experience may have been, and I don't doubt it was bad, that doesn't excuse her flying out of the gate swinging at me before I've even had a chance to read her obnoxious all caps delivery notes just because she had a bad experience last time. That is no way to start a business transaction. Even if I had accepted the order and everything had gone perfectly, 5-star service, front to back, order is hot, fresh, fast, restaurant has it ready when I get there, parking is easy, easy to find her. She includes her gate code. Everything goes 100% swimmingly. Her order gets to her perfectly. Even in that best case scenario, there is no way my service today could have turned around her perceptions of her previous experiences enough to where she would have recognized that and tipped me and rated me appropriately. In order to illustrate what I mean, let's say that this customer could have rated her 2 experiences with Uber on a 5-point scale. Now let's say her first experience was a 1. Terrible. Order arrived late, made a bunch of stops, it was cold, driver had to look for parking, all those things. Let's say it was just as bad as it could be, 1 star. Now, let's say today I give her a 5-star experience. Everything went absolutely perfect. You take the 1 she had from her first delivery, you take the 5 I gave her today, you add those together, you get 6. You divide them by 2, which is the number of deliveries that she had. That means her overall opinion of Uber, which is what she is going to rate me and tip me on today, is now 3 out of 5. That means even after her perfect experience today, she still feels meh about Uber, which means she also feels meh about me. There's no way to win. A customer who comes out of the gate swinging with angry texts, angry delivery notes before you've even driven to the restaurant to pick up the order is looking for something to go wrong. And it's not necessarily their fault. I'm not blaming the customer for her bad experience she had the first time. What I am saying is that as a customer of a service like Uber Eats, you have to go into each new transaction with the expectation that this is a driver I've never had before, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll let them start at 0, not at -5, not at +5. We'll just give them the benefit of the doubt, let them start at 0. But if the customer starts the transaction already yelling at you through text and basically looking for things to go wrong, there is no way that this can go right for you. So the best choice you have in order to protect your rating, your earnings, and your ability to continue working on the platform is to cancel their order. There is no way in this scenario that you are going to turn that customer's perception around. And any tiny imperfection, whether it's something within your control or completely out of your control. And we all know there are a lot of things about delivery driving that are out of the driver's control. If there's anything that is not exactly the way that customer expects it to be, whether it's reasonable or not, you lose. There's nothing you can do to make them happy. Cancel the order, save yourself the headache.